What's up, folks? Today we're going to be talking about feints, why you should use them, and then some like general broad feint concepts you can think of. I ain't really going to go into like too specific in this video on all the different types of feints. I'm just going to kind of go over a couple maybe and some scenarios and why you use them. What's up, Jakes? So feinting should be something you're like practicing all the time, like even when you're shadow boxing, every time you're on the bag, basically anytime you're striking, punching, doing anything at all like that, you should be practicing your feints, because that's the only way you're going to really get better at them. And then when you take them into sparring, which hopefully is before a fight, and fight's not the first time you're doing it, it's going to be a lot easier to use them. You're going to be quicker with them. You can kind of put them all together, strike quicker off of it, be a lot smoother. So the most common type of feints that people are going to do, and this is now the MMA aspect, is like a punch fake, because that's with, box. It's with all of them, all the striking sports mostly. So a couple things you want to kind of avoid is just feinting with your hands, which will work. You can definitely like trick somebody by just moving the hands, maybe twisting it over or something. That's a little bit more once you got them kind of biting. Like if you don't got them respecting it at all, they're not going to change their defense up too much just because you're, changing your hand like that. Especially if you're doing it the whole time. So, which is a good thing to stay being dynamic, but you really want to get like your shoulders invested, because like a feint is like the beginning of the strike usually. So if I'm throwing like a jab, that's what it looks like, right? So if I want to feint the jab, I got the arm extension, I got the step, I got the hip turn, and I got the shoulder turn, all going into that one punch. So I can kind of break that down, like maybe I hit him with two good jabs. Now, when I just twist that shoulder over and slightly turn that hand over, they're defending, right? So I just hit him with a little. That's all it takes. Boom. Typically, you want to start striking after you feint. You don't want to just kind of sit there and be fucking like half cocked the whole time. You want to actually trick them and then fucking capitalize on that. So from the front, regular jab, and then the feint. See what I'm saying? You gotta really sell it, make them believe it. Same with the cross. If I'm throwing the two, to fake that, I'm just gonna start the beginning of that whole little punch. So I might go jab, and now they've got caught with the jab, and they're going to parry that cross, right? Opening up their guard typically. So I go jab. You can even exaggerate it a little bit by picking up that elbow. Now, keeping in mind that you're opening yourself up to get hit there, so you need to be like ready to defend. Little things like that, like might make them think this hand's coming. Or even with your feet, maybe going that right there, that knee turning down. They think you're sitting down on that punch, finna send it at them. Stuff like that. And you can add it together. So maybe I go. Just put it all together. So same with, you can go like, maybe I want to open up that jab lane. He's keeping kind of a tight guard, staying tight. So I might start popping him with some hooks. Bah. 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 Now once I got him, boom, catching them hooks, now I can fake that little loop coming around and just send it straight down the middle. See what I'm saying? So you're just kind of redirecting where they're going. And now typically, if you're actually hitting them, a little bit as the fight goes on, like maybe later into your first round of sparring or whatever, next round, it's gonna be working a lot better, you know, unless you're just cracking them right off rip in your light spars. You know, typically a little bit into the round, now you've got them biting hard, and your reflex is a muscle. You know, GSP said you can tire that out. You know, you get them biting nonstop. Now they're gonna bite slower. You know, they might not bite at all on something, might not see it coming. So that's some of the punches. You can even fake like uppercuts, something like that. Jack Deli style. Ooh, fake that little bolo. Don't get kicked in the head though. Want to have your distance right. Be at a good angle where you're not going to get hurt by faking that, making the move. Another thing you can go into is like leg feints, which we've already kind of been talking with the punch feints, you know, the jab step, stuff like that. But you can also go into like, I personally like, I switch stance a lot. I fight out of both stances. So faking that stance switch, maybe into a switch kick or something, usually works pretty good. You know, because if maybe I've hit them with a couple good body kicks off that switch. Now, they're dropping the elbows, right? They're cross blocking, stuff like that. Maybe they're checking high. Okay. Now, I can do a couple things off that switch. Now, if I switch, I can go head kick. I can wait for that block to come out, readjust where I'm going to go. I can maybe still get that head kick off. I can maybe stuff like that, you know, fake it up on them. I like to use it a lot in sparring. Ooh, I missed them. To kind of cover distance. So, you know, a lot of the time you're having to cross that void, Mighty Mouse, to get to your opponent. You know, they're not always just going to be marauding towards you, opening themselves up. So a good way I found to cross that distance is to threaten that stance switch, especially being a longer guy, because you can catch people as they're pulling out. So if I'm kind of far out here, I might and duck my way in that way. You know, they're either going to back straight up, cut to the left, cut to the right. You know what I'm saying? They can't stay where they're at. So especially if I've got them kind of to the corner, or to say maybe the edge of the cage, wherever, to a wall. Now when I hit, I might walk them in to where I want them to be. You know, if they're running away, walk them into a head kick. If they back straight up, double off the wall, cage, whatever, stuff like that. So the other thing you can do is off the leg kicks. So I don't know how much y'all didn't hear me, but I'm gonna put this back on and go with it. Hopefully it stays. Another thing you can do is say maybe a good kick fake you can do, or kick feint, is that, especially if you're kick heavy, is that just that hip twist. Boom. Something like that. That hip just turning over, because it don't take much turn to get a leg kick off, you know, especially depending on the type of kick that you're doing. If I'm just cutting across, you know, it don't take much to get that over, you know. But another good leg kick that you can do, like Liam Harrison, is just kind of come, especially when you're off to the angle a little bit, it's just coming up. Chopping up instead of that kick. It takes I would say it takes a little bit of power off of it, but you can land them like a bit easier. You know what I'm saying? So if we're here, all I need to do is kick straight up into that leg, even if it's my back leg. So yeah, I've got them walking, That's me trying to throw a little bit into it. So if I'm just trying to tap it quick, I'm saying you gotta be feinting all the time. So that's some leg feints. Sugar Sean, you know, you see UFC fighters like to practice that turn as if they were gonna turn and kick you, back kick, whatever. Jump in for a spinning elbow or something. So I don't really like it that much because, you know, they gotta believe you're throwing something spinning because, you know, they're either gonna, if they're smart, they're not gonna back out, you know, and end up right at the end of that range for that kick. They're probably gonna crowd you a little bit and try to take you down off of that. So a couple other key notes when you're feinting, kind of all over the place, is you don't want to, like, say I'm feinting for a takedown, right? I don't want to get in the habit of letting my hands and my shoulders, my whole guard deteriorate while I do these feints. Like if I'm going for a takedown, I don't want to reach like this. You know what I'm saying? If we're here, I don't want to reach like this, typically. You know, I am kind of setting myself up good, but I'm opening myself up pretty bad. I can get the same result out of staying here. You see what I'm saying? Keeping this shoulder and guard tight. So now it can come back quicker. You know what I'm saying? It's just keeping me less vulnerable while I'm doing this, okay? But feints, you need to be doing that all the time. Pad work, partner drills, bag work, shadow boxing, all the time. You need to be practicing it. It don't take much at all. It's like the most low cost energy thing. I mean, boom. Then you can start doing a lot of cool stuff off of this. You know what I mean? Maybe I pop him with the jab. Ooh, I fake that cross. He drops his hand. I pull back, catch him with that head kick. Boom. You know, you can do a lot off of that. So this is just kind of a quick video going over the broad concepts of feints. A couple different types of feints you can do. You got your feet, you got your hips, your shoulders, your hands. Hands, probably the least you should be like really mainly feinting with, like in the sense of like doing this right here. I mean, that's cool if you're a longer guy. I'm just trying to be kind of more general. Because when you're a little bit longer, you got a little bit more leniency. You know, I can get here and I can kind of pull out nice and easy. It's just a little bit more believable when you really sell like you're finna hit them or you're finna crack them for real. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll probably be going a little bit more in depth with different types of feints and setups here soon. I just wanted to go ahead and cover feints because like a 1-2, you should be, as soon as you learn that 1-2, you should be learning how to fake that 1-2 to land it better. So I hope y'all enjoyed that.